We are live. Good evening, everybody. It's February 20th, 2023, and these are your Fortean Files. Oh, Jesus. Did that not come over?
No, I hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Because it's not coming over my headphones. It's coming over my speakers.
Oh, well, I heard it.
Yeah,
in
probably.
My earphones. So
yeah, probably because it came through my speakers into my microphone. Fucking hell.
Well, either way, it worked. Whatever.
2 weeks in a row. Fuck that soundboard. Oh, shit. Happy fucking Monday, everybody. What a week. What a fucking week, Katie. Got all done at my other job. Just loved it. Loved the people. Great fucking people. I can't say that enough. I've, like you and I were talking before the show. Me personally, I've never worked at a place where I've loved every coworker that I work with. Like, they're all wonderful. I didn't want to leave. It was it has to do with my health, like stress. But on to bigger and better things. More money, better hours, good times, weekends off. Not the same people, obviously.
Right.
But
it's cool you can say that, though, that you thought everybody was great. That's rare.
They're just great people. Just absolutely great people. And you know, it's not to say that I didn't ever have like any issues at any point in time with any one person. Things happen, but I never felt like this, you know, I don't like this person. I never felt that about any of them. You know, it was just, you know, they were just all good people. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's bummer for me that I had to go. So,
On to better things.
Yeah. Dean Cooper can't make he show tonight. Sorry about that. You can't make the He-Man show? What he show can you not make?
The show.
I think Dean is mentally incapable of conversing at this point. I think dementia has set in.
Well, I would agree because he came here to tell us that he couldn't come here.
I think he's here.
Clearly.
I think, much like the Invisible Man, Dean Cooper is here. We just can't see him. So Katie and I are working out the show structure right now. We're gonna have a discussion after the show tonight, try to figure out where we're how we're going to structure things as we go forward. Because like I said before, I want to highlight a cult a week. I think that's super important. I think that you know, I grew up with the Waco incident. I don't know if people remember old David Koresh. Fun fact, my coworkers at Walmart, when I worked there years ago, used to call me Chris Koresh. But so I grew up with, you know, Waco and like the Heaven's Gate cult there, those fucking wackadoos. But I find cults fascinating, and I find those cult of personalities fascinating. So, as you know, Katie, you and I both are fans of Aaron Smith Levin's channel.
Indeed.
Growing up in Scientology. So, and I haven't had a chance to put anything together as far as like structure wise. Like I said, you and I will discuss it after the show. But my favorite news, cult news, recently is that David Miscavige has been served. This piece of shit. This fucking piece of shit that they can stack it that high because they don't have very high to stack it. Has evaded process servers. How long has it been, Katie?
Well, that's a complicated thing to say because there's been multiple lawsuits and some of them have just been dropped. And a lot of people find it hard to actually sue him as a person because of the way they have him classified. He's not really technically the leader of the it's this so complicated thing because he uses all these loopholes to get out of it. But these cases, he's been evading them.
Yeah,
at
and
least
the
6,
judge,
7, 8 months.
The judge in this case, the one that he's been served in, is, from the sounds of it, is sick of his shit.
Yes, and his lawyer's shit.
Yeah. And they have tried to serve him at every address that they can. They can't find the son of a bitch. And so the judge finally said that he's been served. So he's going to have to in some way testify, whether it's whether he just gets deposed or what.
Right. And that's going to be big.
That's going to be a fucking hoot, is what that is. I cannot wait to see the video and or transcripts of those depositions.
Oh, it's going to be gold.
I literally am bubbling with excitement.
Yeah, it's going to be a long wait, I'm sure. Because that's
he's gonna fiddle and fuck around for the next fucking 2 years.
He's gonna do everything he can.
Yeah, yeah.
He might just go missing like his wife. Who knows?
Jesus. I don't get it. How that organization hasn't just imploded at this point.
Well, it kind of is slowly, just silently, and we don't hear about it because they keep everything under such tight wraps. But
yeah, but the fact of the matter is, this is how it's probably going to go. Scientology is going to fold up, and Miscavige is going to walk away with a shit ton of money.
I don't know.
I don't think it's the people with lots of fucking money tend to get away with shit.
My only thing is
case in point, Katie. Case in point. Sorry to interrupt you. Case in point, O.J. Simpson.
Fair.
We all know he did it.
Yeah.
Hell, there have been people who have said, I understand why he fucking did it.
Yeah, that's a weird
thing. There have been people who have fucking said that. And money gave him the better attorneys.
Right.
I think he's going to walk away from it.
I don't know. I hope he doesn't
walk away from it.
But I also feel like if he was just going to let Scientology close and walk away with a bunch of money, he would have done that by now.
Yeah.
And that would be a very viable thing for him to do.
Yeah, I love his amazing story about how Scientology cured his asthma.
Oh God, his asthma that he never even had.
I love that. You know, asthma that a lot of people grow the fuck out of, like I did.
Well, I heard that he never really even had it.
Listen, asthma is a very complicated thing.
Right.
There are many factors to it. The fact of the matter is, in a lot of cases, and this is for myself included, just calming yourself down and breathing will make shit go away.
Right.
That's the way it is. It's to say that it cured it, to me, in my opinion, is a horse shit statement.
Well, yeah.
That Scientology cured his fucking asthma. That to me is a fucking horse shit statement. So I've had it for years, and it comes and goes. Like, it doesn't, It's not always there. But I would bet dollars to fucking donuts that son of a bitch carries an inhaler. If
I'm
in
sure.
fact he had asthma when he was younger, I
Right.
would bet dollars to donuts, because from what I've heard, he's deathly afraid of COVID.
Yeah, he's a weird one for being with the way Scientology. I don't know. Yeah, he's taken things a real weird direction when he's supposed to be doing things compared to L. Ron Hubbard, and it's like he definitely beats to his own drum when it comes to leading the church. And I don't know how everybody hasn't seen that.
Katie, I'm gonna read me some fucking L. Ron Hubbard. It's gonna
Don't
happen.
do it.
It's gonna happen. I have the entire Mission Earth series.
Oh God. I bet you
listen,
so shit.
I need to understand the scriptures of L. Ron Hubbard.
I don't think you do, Chris. I don't think you do.
No. So here's the thing. So when I was growing up, my stepfather had a fascination with Dianetics. Never went like Scientologist.
Right.
He owned the book Dianetics.
Yeah.
He thought it was very interesting. I never got into it, but he wound up getting the entire 10-book run of the Mission Earth series hardcover. It was on our bookshelf in the house.
Wow.
And these covers are like all fantastical fucking shit. They're like really cool, covers, artwork, and they're science fiction books. So I grew up with those books in my house. And I wound up, back when I was collecting books, I wound up buying a hardcover set of them and then turning around years later and selling them. But I own them on my Kindle. I've bought a bunch of them like when they've been on sale and wound up getting the whole fucking series. I have every intention of reading it. Every fucking intention of reading it. I think I've read through the first book once. It's not great.
It can't be.
It's not horrible, but it's not like great. It's not like one of those stories that like grabs you. It's weird. So, but I want to read through it because I want to try to understand the mind of the guy that created Scientology. Like,
based on reading that first book, do you think it's true that he never wrote a second draft of anything?
Yeah. I think he just fucking wrote.
Yeah, he just wrote and threw it to the wind.
He just fucking wrote. That, I think he's the most published author ever. Like the most words like ever.
I've heard that a lot, but I've recently heard that that's kind of inflated and not completely true. But
well, I've also heard that there's speculation that his wife was also writing, and he was putting his name on the books.
Right. So yeah, I don't know on that one, and especially given his whole history, I'd like to not give him that credit personally. But
yeah. But. So I'm really excited that he has been served, that Miscavige has been served.
Yes, that's good news.
It warms the cockles of my fucking heart. And I can't wait for that. So in and of it, that's my cult piece of the week.
Yeah, hey, it's a good cult piece.
Yeah, I like I said, we'll hammer out the details tonight about how we're going to do this. I want to try to get like some type of bumpers or something for it, or some stupid shit, so that the show has some type of a flow to it. Sure. We'll figure out like how we're going to do it. But I did want to discuss that because that is something that fucking made me really happy.
Right.
And I have no ties to Scientology. Like I didn't have anybody that was in my circle that was in Scientology, or like I have no vested interest.
Right.
I just think it's horseshit.
Yeah, no, I really don't either. I'm just fascinated, and there's enough people out there talking about it that there's like stuff to consume. And Leah Remini, I'm sure, is what got me started originally, because I love her. So
I listened to her. The thing that got me into it was Going Clear. The documentary Going Clear.
Right.
And I heard Leah Remini on Rogan. and I catch bits and pieces of stuff over the years. I would watch stuff, check stuff out, and then I found Aaron Smith Levin.
Yeah.
And while he is kind of hack, I still adore him. Like, he's still like, he does a lot of the same shit every single video. And and I just think it's, every time I'm like, Jesus Christ, will you fucking stop that? And I can always tell when he's pissed off.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because he fucking adjusts his shirt.
Wait, yes, he just has a way.
He grabs his shirt like this. He'll be
yeah, and he speaks differently too. Like, he definitely, you can tell when he's more relaxed and having fun, but he's so great to follow. And I've been following him for years, and all of this content he's been pumping out here recently, I'm here for it. I love it.
Oh, I do too. I catch just about everything. Just about everything he puts out. I support what he's doing wholeheartedly.
I know. I need to get us some bobbleheads.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Mike Rinder bobblehead.
Yeah, it's a worthy cause.
Yeah, definitely a worthy cause. All right, so on to our first story of the evening. What am I going to go with tonight? Let's see. Let's go with this one. From the ladbible.com. The Bigfoot sighting caught on video that left experts baffled. I don't even want to know how many videos out there claim to be the best evidence yet of our pal Bigfoot, and I did not cover the birds tonight because I am a jackass. Thanks, guys. But a lot of time they can be explained away by a blurry camera or even just a prankster in a costume. However, there's one video that left even Sasquatch aficionados scratching their heads over whether it could be real. And you can see it for yourself below. The video was shared online after being caught by the Cass River in Michigan, where the hulking brown figure appeared to wade into the water with something in its arms. The creature walked out into the middle of the river while the person behind the camera looked on, no doubt holding their breath to avoid finding out what happens when humans come face to face with the mythical creatures. With no immediate explanation available for the scene, it racked up thousands of views and caught the attention of investigator Kyle Shaw of Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. Shaw took a look at the footage for himself, but admitted even he didn't have a definitive answer. He confessed, "I'm not saying this is Bigfoot, and I'm not saying it isn't." Well, that is helpful. And that's not me saying, well, that is helpful. That's in the article. Shaw continued, "This is obviously shot with a cell phone at 880 by 656 resolution. It's 30 frames per second. It isn't the greatest footage. It's all we have to go with, so you be the judge on what you think it is. I don't know what it is." He continued, "A lot of what's going on in this says to me it's something moving through the river, pushing a wake, and it appears to be carrying an infant. The infant's head is behind the mother or father. It must be lying on the left shoulder and kind of in the back, but you can see the torso, leg, and foot of the baby. Just incredible." Even though Shaw, as a member of a literal Sasquatch organization, still didn't have an answer, other internet users were convinced they knew exactly what the creature was, or claimed they'd know if they could only get a better look. One user said, "It's a man in waders with a mosquito net over his head." However, another argued, "If you or I saw this, we would film it until it was no longer visible. I think the reason it's so short is because it was originally much longer, but it's been clipped up to the point where it's difficult to tell if it's someone in waders crossing a river with a deer. So could the figure in the footage actually be Bigfoot? That's up to you to decide." I'll let you guys take a look at this here little big feet. Because I don't know. I say it's probably a dude.
Yeah, the way the skin folds there.
And
I
there
mean,
is
it's
a video.
admittedly weird.
Can you see this video?
Yes, I saw it.
Did you? All right. So I want to see if it'll play. I don't think I'll be able to hear anything, but it's gonna freaking play a damn ad. Get rid of that.
Of course it is.
Fucking ad. There we go. All right, now you can see the video?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not doing anything yet. They just like
There
do a
it goes.
still.
Yeah. All right. So now it's going to go through. Does that come over pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just going to keep showing it slowed more and more. And I don't go, that's a Bigfoot. That's not where I go.
No.
Not, I mean, it looks like there's some type of outfit on it.
Yes, for sure. It looks like vinyl specifically.
Yeah, it looks like, or some type of camouflage.
Yeah, but like the material is not
Flesh
as flimsy as
or
fabric.
hair?
Correct. Yes. Yep. You went the right direction with that.
I would go more Muppet than Sasquatch here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anywho, that's
where's Phil when you need him?
Listen, I have been trying to reach out to Phil for fucking weeks. Phil Pauling, where are you? He's like fucking Where's Waldo? If somebody can fucking find Phil Pauling, I might pay good money at this point.
He's lost
to
in
say
Margaritaville.
Hi. Just to say fucking hi. Hi, Phil. How are you? I think it's worth $20 at this point.
I'd pitch in.
Holy shit, Phil. Where the fuck did you go? On to our next story of the evening, Katie. From thedailystar.co.uk. Bigfoot hunter hits out at non-believers as reckless. Bear claims ignore phenomenon. Bigfoot expert Thomas Markham has hit out at reckless comments that attempt to prove Bigfoot is nothing more than a myth, with Markham saying those that discard evidence of the beast are ignorant. Well, do you, jackass? An expert on the legendary... An expert. Are you really? How do you become an expert, Thomas?
Yeah, what are the qualifications?
Explain to me the fucking process in which you become an expert Bigfoot researcher. Is there a class you take? How do you become this fucking expert? Because I'd like to know. Because I've heard many people claim this fucking title. Another horse shit fucking title. Much like chairman of the board for that fuckface. An expert on the legendary Bigfoot has hit out at reckless claims suggesting that elusive sightings have just been of bears. Thomas Markham, a long-standing expert on urban legends and the phenom of the forest, has since hit out at those skeptical of the beastly Bigfoot's existence. And by the way, I'm doing this story because we did do the story about how Bigfoot are more than likely just black bears, which was an article that somebody had put out. Recent reports comparing Bigfoot sightings to that of black bears on their hind legs have been rubbished by the Crypto Crew expert, who said those who believed in such a claim were ignorant. Expert Markham speaks from experience and has slammed a recent research study from Flo Foxon on whether Bigfoot sightings are just black bear populations in the area. Bigfoot expert Markham said, can we fucking stop calling him Bigfoot expert? I'm going to just eliminate that if they say it anymore in this fucking article. I have documented hundreds, if not thousands, of tracks and spoken with hundreds of witnesses. I can easily distinguish between black bear tracks and Bigfoot tracks. Can you now? I have been face to face with a mother black bear with 4 cubs and encounter bears often. These people spouting stupid nonsense about Bigfoot is just a bear on its hind legs need to get into the forest more. All right. I've been in the forest quite a bit, dude. Some sightings may be misidentifications, but to make a blanket statement like that is reckless and idiotic and takes away from a real phenomenon. I have personally seen the creature a handful of times, and I can tell you it was no bear. Really. Signifying factors were noted by Markham. I almost said it. Who stands by his information and asserted that Bigfoot was very real and very much out there. Markham's very much fucking out there. He continued, Bigfoot is very real. The evidence is there, and all witnesses and investigators can do is present it and tell about what they saw. We cannot make some stuffed shirt a couch potato who most likely has a very narrow-minded view on the subject and limited forest experience, or any skeptic accept it. Learn how to fucking talk, you mushmouth fuck. For Markham, claims of Bigfoot being reports of black bear sightings are a litmus test, as the expert said it showed they had not truly looked into the phenomenon and has very limited outdoor in the forest off-trail experience. That's his only argument?
It's pretty weak.
Sounds pretty fucking weak. You just need to get out in the forest more. That will make you believe in Bigfoot. What is this idea that you have to believe? I mean, I have to believe in a higher power.
It's all they got,
I don't have
Chris.
to believe in Bigfoot.
Well, that's the only option for Bigfoot is to believe.
When did this become a religion? I know. I can write the Bigfoot religion. I'll be the L. Ron Hubbard of the Bigfoot religion.
There you go.
And I will never write a second draft.
Although, I don't know. I think Matt Moneymaker might have that road paved already.
Does he?
Maybe.
I've met him.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What's the over-under on that?
Personally, I think he's an overinflated douche.
Okay, because he seems pretty Looney Tunes to me. I'm not gonna
lie. I met the entire group.
Right, and I like the rest of them, but he's a little Looney Tune for me.
Bobo was a little much.
Yeah,
coming in with his two friggin' big guys, Hawaiian guys. Looked like one of them was about to pull out a fucking ukulele and start singing Somewhere Over the Fucking Rainbow. Moneymaker showed up at like the last minute and came flying in, sat down at the fucking table to sign autographs. And Cliff and Renee were super cool.
Yeah.
I had interviewed Cliff once before. And I had mentioned that to him and he was like, oh yeah. He was super, super nice, really great guy. And Renee, I've said this many, many times, while she comes off very butch on the show, is absolutely gorgeous in person.
Yeah, she seems really cool.
Beautiful woman. And super cool. She talked to Nadia and I, because that's who I was with at the time, for quite a while. And because Nadia had some questions. And she answered everything. She was great. So, but yeah, no, the other two I didn't care for too much.
I don't know. Matt definitely gives me the cult leader vibes. You know,
oh, he's got an overinflated sense of himself.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta, be a little humble about some shit, especially when you're a Bigfoot guy. Calm down. Calm down, big boy. Jesus fucking Christ. On to our next story of the evening from NBCnews.com. UFOs have finally gone mainstream. The UFO community isn't thrilled. The President of the United States just addressed the American people on UFOs, but it wasn't the extraterrestrial revelation true believers have been waiting for. After decades on the mockable fringes, unidentified aerial phenomena are finally major mainstream news. But the downing of a Chinese spy balloon and 3 other likely benign objects is an anticlimax for many interested in UFOs who had hoped for something a little less terrestrial. Many in the UFO community, which ranges from science-minded investigators to faith-based believers, had been hoping recent moves in Washington meant the government was finally getting ready to spill the beans on everything it has collected over decades on unexplained aerial phenomena. Even if that didn't include evidence of extraterrestrial life. But the downing of the balloon complicates their narrative and may lead many Americans to wrongly believe that every weird thing seen in the skies has a quotidian explanation. What the fuck? I've never seen that word in my life. Good on you. like balloons. John Greenwald, a paranormal investigator and Freedom of Information Act super user who runs the Black Vault, said that while it is exciting to see the world talking about unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, the conversation gets derailed a bit. Now it's all about balloons and spycraft, and I worry you'll see waning interest not only from the American public, but from Congress, Greenwald said. It's a shame. When the congressmen and congresswomen were talking about the mystery of UAP, they weren't talking about Chinese spycraft. They were talking about the mystery, he said. Yes, we should focus on protecting American airspace from spying, but we shouldn't lose focus on the fact that there really is a part of this phenomena that really is a mystery. The latest report on unexplained aerial phenomena from the offices of the Director of National Intelligence, released in January, includes 366 newly identified incidents. Of those, 163 were attributed to balloons, 26 to drones, and 6 to clutter, such as birds, weather events, or airborne debris like plastic bags. That leaves 171 uncharacterized and unattributed sightings, according to the report, which notes that some of those sightings appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities. Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence under President Bill Clinton and a UAP activist, said there's still a lot of stuff up there that we can't explain. We don't need to worry about the balloon threat anymore. It's very easy now that we've identified the threat. I'm not losing any sleep over balloons. Okay, jackass. But we still have to address it. I mean, for fuck's sake. Oh, I don't want to take away from the UFOs. Oh, by Jesus. Fucking grow up. Are we not supposed to fucking report on the balloons so that your precious UFO research can go on?
Right.
I don't understand people. They make fucking zero sense to me half the time. Zero.
Well, they get selfish on their own agendas too, and they lose sight of the big picture.
Like when I saw this headline, I'm like, I have to do this story tonight. Like, as you know, I don't really read anything. I did actually look over the Bigfoot story tonight because I wanted to see what I thought of the Bigfoot.
Right.
But I generally don't read them. So when I saw this article, I was like, just by the headline alone, I'm like, yeah, this one's gonna piss me off. Like,
it does have a very douchey tone to it.
It has a me.
Mm-hmm.
Me. Look at me. Fucking Jesus. Ugh, I'm gonna stop that story right there because it's just fucking irritating. It's fucking irritating. Like, and I knew it was gonna irritate me from the moment I fucking saw the fucking headline. So it doesn't surprise me. Our next story of the evening from BusinessInsider.com. The UFO shootdowns show the hardest part of discovering alien life, maybe announcing it. Here's how NASA might break the news. What, that they shot down fucking hobby weather balloons? I especially like, by the way, before I get to this story, that we used $1 million aircraft. I'm not sure how expensive the ordnance was. To shoot down at least one, if not a couple, hobby balloons that were launched in the in North America. That's your fucking tax dollars at work, people.
I'm not so sure I believe all of that. I don't believe anything, especially when it comes to Homeland Security and shit flying in the sky. They might tell you what they think it was. They might tell you they don't know what it was. I don't believe it.
I think right now they're using it as propaganda.
That's what I mean. And sure, maybe it was a hobby thing, but I think they knew that's what it was, and
they used it.
I think they're desensitizing us.
Yeah.
Personally.
Oh. Well, did you hear that they just told the Biden administration told China that if they arm Russia, that it's going to be a huge problem?
No, I try to stay away from that type of news.
Yeah. That's
that doesn't
the shit
sound fun.
That's the shit we're doing because we're fucking dumb.
Poking the bear.
We're dumb. Dumb as shit. Dumb as shit. Welcome to the end of an empire, ladies and gentlemen. This is how empires fall.
Ay, yikes.
NASA isn't announcing the existence of extraterrestrial life, but if the last 2 weeks show anything, Jesus, I had to clear my throat. If the agency ever breaks such news, the world may have trouble understanding. The latest UFO mania started with the Chinese spy balloon flying across the U.S. China's government has insisted it was just a weather balloon that blew off course. The U.S. military shot it down off the coast of South Carolina, later saying the balloon was part of a global network Beijing uses to collect surveillance on other militaries. Yeah, because, satellites don't work. Suddenly, the U.S. seemed to be spotting UFOs, which the Department of Defense now refers to as unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, everywhere. By Sunday, U.S. fighter jets had gunned down 3 more mysterious objects in the skies over Alaska, Canada, and Lake Huron. There's no evidence that these UAPs, are alien technology from space. Still, speculation abounds. Google searches for extraterrestrial life and "Are aliens real?" spiked. The Associated Press reported that online posts mentioning extraterrestrials increased by nearly 300% after the first balloon. Even Elon Musk weighed in with an alien joke. I know there have been questions and concerns about this, but there is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity within these recent takedowns. Karen Jean-Pierre, the White House, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't pay attention to her. The White House press secretary said at a briefing on Monday, and mostly because she just is a paid liar, but adding, it was important for us to say that from here because we've been hearing a lot about it. The breathless rumors are just a peek at what Lori Glaze, who leads NASA's Planetary Science Division, might face should scientists ever discover true evidence of life beyond Earth. You can't overstate just how important that discovery would be, how we're going to confirm that and announce it responsibly. How we're going to confirm and announce it responsibly, I think, is a really important question, Glaze told Insider at the American Geophysical Union's meeting in December. The biggest challenge is trying to keep that communication on an even keel, right? With an excitement and yet also understanding that we need to set the expectations that we have to follow the scientific process as we're fighting for our lives while they take over our fucking planet. Maybe the James Webb Space Telescope detects a telltale molecule in the atmosphere of a distant Earth-like planet. Maybe Mars samples from the Perseverance rover reach Earth in a decade and scientists find fossils of ancient microbes inside them. Many astrobiologists, exactly what it sounds like, people who study the idea of biology beyond Earth, think that evidence of extraterrestrial life could turn up soon. But it's unlikely that any evidence would be completely irrefutably obviously aliens. Scientists will probably disagree and won't be 100% confident. That could be hard to explain to the public. This is going to be a very, very hard thing to actually get the scientific community, I think, to agree upon, unless we actually see something moving around and waving at us, which is unlikely, Glaze told Insider. That's why NASA has tried to develop a procedure for assessing and sharing such a monumental, sensitive discovery. The conversation is still ongoing, Glaze said, but in 2021, the agency published a framework as a starting point. It could help scientists, journalists, and NASA itself explain the science. I'm not going to go any further on in that article. We've gone over this shit before. The idea that the government and NASA, trying to attempt to figure out how to tell people that there's life outside of this fucking solar system or off this fucking planet or whatever. It's all speculation. I mean, it's a huge fucking pot of speculation.
Yeah, but I think them admitting that they have those conversations, because I mean, it is a big deal. That is a big message to lay out on planet Earth. But
it's
the
obvious
fact that they're open,
Go ahead.
That points to me that all of these things that they're experimenting, they're testing the waters, they're dipping their toe in and seeing, okay, well, how can they handle this? Well, how do they react to this?
Oh, yeah.
It definitely feels like a experiment of like testing out how we're going to handle it, along with desensitizing us to gradually working us up to being able to handle that kind of news, you know?
Well, and this has been going on for a while. It's not like the government hasn't been thinking about this or looking into these ideas just
Right.
recently.
Well,
This
and
is
that's why
how, I
all
mean,
this stuff feels like a stepping stone. This is just the next step.
it seems like they're a little more open about it now, but in and of that, I think that goes back to what we were talking about before, that a lot of it's propaganda. They use shit as propaganda.
Yes.
And if you don't think so, people, I'm sorry, but you've been propagandized for a long time.
Well, I'm not gonna
And
lie, in this context, when it comes to possible aliens and extraterrestrial life and shit, I think I'm okay with it. And you can say that's a bad thing. It might be, but I feel like the general public can't handle that kind of news. And I would be afraid of pandemonium over
War
such
of the
news.
Worlds,
That
War
it's
of the
like, yeah,
Worlds
no,
broadcast.
if y'all know about something, I'm cool with y'all keeping that behind wraps. We don't need to know.
Well, I think we are naive as a
Oh,
species.
yeah, for
We're
sure.
insanely naive to
I'm
think
comfortable in my
naivety.
naivete.
uh, I think that it's very ignorant and stupid of us to think that we are the only intelligent life in the universe. It's the fucking universe is massive.
I
It's
just hope they don't give a
insanely
shit
huge.
about us. You know, if they're out there, I hope they
I
just
don't
don't
think
care about us.
I honestly think that the universe is so big. I don't think there's a way for them to get to us.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I suppose, yeah, like long-term interstellar travel or whatever, if somebody could figure that out, but that would mean like a colony of people living on a ship for generations upon generations just to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I just don't think the technology, and I could be wrong, but I don't think the technology to travel that far is. It seems like it's just not there. That like
Right.
all scientists want it to be there. They want to figure out like wormhole technology or these fucking wave drive things, you know, which is basically like a warp drive from fucking Star Trek.
Right.
Um, uh, you know, they have theories and ideas, but nothing ever seems to pan out.
Well, those are hard theories to test, to be
Well,
fair.
but they never seem to get any closer to it, is what I mean,
Yeah.
than where they are. But it'd be interesting, you know. I think we're more apt to fucking create a time machine first.
Ugh, no. Ugh, my brain can't do that. No, thank
Dude,
you.
there's a physicist who's basically working on it.
I can dabble with aliens. It's not my favorite thing, but my mind can go there. I cannot do time travel. My brain just, nope, doesn't exist. Can't
Well,
entertain.
here's a kicker for you. Time passes slower the closer to sea level, the higher away from sea level you are.
My brain can comprehend that, but it doesn't like it.
I can't remember which it is. If it's it's one way or the
Yeah,
other.
wait,
The
no, it
higher
makes
up you are or away
it
from
makes
the Earth,
sense.
your time goes slower or faster in comparison to where. But it's so fucking weird. That's what
Yeah.
they a lot of that they figured out when they put the GPS satellites into orbit.
Ugh.
Because they couldn't match up the times.
See, but that's what hurts my brain is because then that to me bursts the whole concept of time, and then
And
I
it
just,
but you'd think that it would be the exact same,
but yeah, because that's the way our simple little pea brains work.
but it's not.
I know. It
Right?
makes me glitch. I
Oh
can't.
yeah.
I can't think about it.
I feel like that cat in the Matrix.
I can't do it.
Meow. Anyway, on with our next fucking story of the evening. What do we got here? What do I got? Oh, the title story. From ctinsider.com. Annabelle doll, other contents of Warren's Occult Museum returning to Mohegan Sun in October. By the way, before I start this article, did I ever tell you that I reached out to Tony Spera?
No. When?
A long time ago. I spoke to Steve Culls because Culls knows Spera.
Huh.
And I was like, do you think I could get him on the show? I'm like, dude, we're skeptical, but I'll talk to anybody. You know, I think the best thing you can do is talk to people.
Sure.
And he's like, give him a fucking shout, you know, because I'm friends with him on Facebook. So I fucking shot him a message. He's seen it.
But that's it? He's just seen it?
It's about as far as it went.
Oh.
I said, you know, hey, I spoke to Calls, you know, blah, blah, blah. He said I should get in touch with you, do this podcast. You know, we're uncensored. We're, you know, pretty skeptical, but we like to have an open mind. We'd love to have you on. Shoot the shit, yada, yada. Not a response. And I even said, you know, I'm a fan. I've been watching your fucking shit on YouTube that you used to do with the Warrens. Because he's married to like the daughter, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He basically runs.
know.
Yeah, he basically runs the museum now.
Well,
So
I didn't know he had that connection though.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and Mohegan Sun, that's where the Annabelle doll's headed, is the Mohegan Sun. So that's not far from me.
Oh, fun.
So goddamn fucking ads. I hate that shit. After conjuring up some scares last October with its largest celebration to date, the New England Society for Psychic Research is returning to Mohegan Sun with the Warrens' Seekers of the Supernatural Phantasmacon. Taking place October 28th, the convention will be held in the Mohegan Sun Earth Expo Center. Similar to last year's Seekers of the Supernatural Paracon, a VIP party will be held the night prior to the convention, where guests can take photos with the haunted artifacts. Ghost Hunters star Jason Hawes and author Ronnie LeBlanc have been announced as guests for the convention. Additionally, paranormalist David Merlin has been announced as performer for the VIP party on October 27th. The convention's website states that more guests will be announced. As for items from the Warrens Occult Museum, artifacts such as the Annabelle doll, a shadow doll, and the dinosaur toy from the Devil Made Me Do It case will all be present at this year's convention. In addition, there will be new items from the Warren Museum that will be making their debut outside the museum, according to Nesper. The artifacts heading to Mohegan Sun come from the famed occult museum belonging to Ed and Lorraine Warren in Monroe. The museum was established in 1952 at around the same time that the Warrens established the Nesper, which is currently run by Tony Spera and his wife, Ed and Lorraine's daughter. Yeah, I was correct. Judy Spera. Over time, the museum has amassed a collection of haunted artifacts from all corners of the globe that range from satanic ritual items to the famous Annabelle doll, which has inspired the ongoing Annabelle series of movies. The Annabelle movies are part of the larger Conjuring universe of films, which spans 8 movies and is among the highest-grossing horror movie series of all times, and is based on the investigations of the Warrens. Last year's convention sold 5,800 prepaid tickets and had several hundred walk-ins, according to Spera. Our job is, yes, to entertain people, but also show them that God is real and God is more powerful than any devil or demon, Spera previously told Hearst, Connecticut. Wow. Gonna bring Jesus into it? Tickets have not gone on sale yet, but will start at $39 for access to the convention. An additional $60 ticket is required to see items from the Warrens Occult Museum. Vending applications are also open for any guests looking to sell at the convention. The Warrens Seekers of the Paranormal Phantasmacon isn't the only paranormal convention in Connecticut this year. The 3rd annual Paracon will be held at the Ansonia Armory in Ansonia on May 13th to 14th. Announced guests so far include 28 Days Haunted investigator Sean Austin, demonologist and Fred of Ed and Lorraine Warren Carl Johnson, and the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. And that is that. What do you think, Katie?
I don't know. I think haunted objects are weird personally, but if you're into that sort of thing, it's exciting.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't think it's haunted. I'll go touch it. I'll fucking bring the damn thing home.
Right.
I will bet you anything. My dogs will rip it apart in about 5 minutes flat, and that will be the end of Annabelle.
For sure. You could end the curse right then and there.
If anything happens to the dogs, I'll know. Get rid of that fucking thing. But I can guarantee I'm going to have fucking Raggedy Ann and Fluff all over my fucking house.
Whoa, man. That could really mess that place up.
I would film that. I would fucking film that shit as it happened, broadcast it live to YouTube. This is the end of Annabelle. How much would it cost, Tony? What's
Probably
the price?
way too much.
What is the fucking price? Let's start a fucking GoFundMe.
I don't know.
There's
As
no
much as I
fucking
don't
way.
really, I'm not afraid of that stuff, but if it came down to it, I don't know that I would bring it into my home. I think I believe it in it just enough to be like, nah, she can stay out in the driveway.
No, I'm not fucking afraid of that shit. It's a fucking Raggedy Ann doll. What's it gonna be? I mean, it's a fucking voodoo doll. What is it? I mean, I don't.
It's that supernatural stuff, Chris.
Is it?
I might believe in the supernatural stuff more than I believe in aliens, but that's not actually saying that much.
Yeah. As a person who is who's very open-minded and who's had experiences in my life,
Sure.
I'm still a skeptic.
Yeah. Oh, ditto.
Like that's
I'm
just
Christian, so there's that obvious, like, oh, I believe in the opposite, but I don't believe in a lot of the mainstream supernatural stuff.
my faith is not mainstream. Never has been. But I don't. My take is you give that shit power.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you can take it away, it's
Yeah.
very, very simple. But you tend to give shit power. And
Right.
we do that. We don't just do that with fucking haunted objects. Hell, we've done it with words in this
Right.
country.
Yeah.
Because we give words more power than other words. And I think that's fucking hilarious when it's all just words. I've never fucking understood that. But anywho, I just don't buy into that shit. I believe that I'm a master of my own destiny, and that there isn't some haunted fucking doll that can fucking ruin my life.
Right.
I can ruin my life just fine on my own.
You don't need a doll to do it.
I'm a big enough boy to ruin my own life, Katie. I don't need a toy to help me. Although I've had toys help me ruin my life before. Thankfully, I've never had a fleshlight. That's a toy that might ruin me.
Yeah, that's gross. I'm glad to hear you've never had one. Those are fucking gross.
Here's the thing. Anybody who's ever masturbated in their life has known, as a guy anyway, when you are done, all that fucking shit just leaves you in a second. And you are filled with shame. Yes. With your fucking cum hanging off the end of your dick or in a gross. Tissue. It's just shame.
Oh, God. It's so true.
Yeah. So I can't imagine having a fucking fleshlight on the end of my dick.
And then have to clean it out when you're done?
Like while I'm sitting in my shame, like, what did I just do?
That like puts a whole thing into like the walk of shame, the wash of shame. And
Here, let me put it in the fucking dishwasher. They dishwasher safe? I don't fucking know.
Oh, gross.
Legion of Skanks gives away those fucking auto blows. Have you ever seen one of those?
No, I've never heard of such a thing. I don't want to know.
It's electric. And it fucking moves. You don't even have to do anything.
It's like a fucking drill bit.
No, it's not a drill bit.
That's what it sounds like.
Now I'm going to look it up so I can show it to you.
No, I don't need that, Chris.
No, we need to do this. The auto blow. Let's see if I can find this thing. The most advanced BJ machine.
Like a power tool. Yeah, it's like a power tool.
Yeah.
Like a drill bit.
No, it's not like a drill bit.
The bit you put on the drill is a flashlight.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus, gross. Are you fucking kidding me, Chris? Human beings are fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm a prude, I guess. I find that absolutely abhorrent.
So,
no, thank you, sir.
Here's the thing. I can't imagine.
Remove it from the screen, please?
I can't imagine using that fucking thing.
Shame.
For a second.
I
can't.
I'm so ashamed of the human race for inventing such a thing.
That's the best. You know what the best part about that thing is?
It was $39.99.
No, you can hook it up to your phone.
Why? What would you need to do that for?
So you can adjust the settings, Katie.
But it doesn't have to have buttons right there in reach.
You can do it right on your phone.
That's not necessary.
Well, you might not want to reach down while you're using said device.
You got to hold it there.
No, you just stick your dick in it.
Oh my God. I don't need to know all of these things, Chris. This is the education I didn't need.
Yeah. Katie, did you have a story for us tonight?
Oh, I suppose I do. Oh, yeah, I guess we could call that a bit of a palate cleanser, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. It's from I-24 News. Polish woman claims to be missing child. Madeleine McCann? I think it was McCann. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's McCann.
A 22-year-old Polish woman claims to have proof that she is Madeleine McCann, the British child who vanished in Portugal 16 years ago while on vacation with her family. The young woman, Julia Wendell, whose claim went viral on social media, said last week that a German pedophile who was a primary suspect in the disappearance had assaulted her as a child. She further asserted that the McCann family approached her to perform a DNA test to determine whether they were a match. Wendell is 21 but believes her age could be wrong. Maddie was born in May 2003, meaning that she would now be 19. She said she resembles Madeleine's parents, Gary and Kate, and Wendell claims that she has the same eye deformity as the missing child. According to recent news reports, a source close to the McCann family has said that the family isn't taking any risks and is willing to check any references. It's important that they look at all the factors, and the girl does indeed look similar. No one is debating that. If what she says is true, there is a chance that it's her. Wendell claims that she was unaware of the McCann disappearance until she began inquiring about her parents' stories regarding her childhood, which she had no memories of. Wendell stated, "The memories are very blurry, and when I talked about them with my parents, things didn't match up. They always tried to change the subject. My teacher at school said that I didn't always attend school, but my parents insisted that I did. After all that confusion, I started doing my own research. I discovered that what happened to Madeleine McCann, and I connected the dots. It's so stressful trying to get people to believe me." And that's the end of the article. And I do find it interesting. The picture that they provide there isn't good enough to really make out that eye deformity. Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I that's the first thing I was looking for in it, and I couldn't see it. So I wish there was a better picture of her.
Yeah.
I'll have to look later and see if there is, because that's a case that fucking really interests me.
Me too. And I was actually looking at these pictures side by side earlier today, one of her and then one of Madeline as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the lips, like basically from the bottom of the nose down, doesn't do it for me. But
Right.
she's at an age where women's faces sometimes thin out in their mid 20s. You know, women hold on to some of that like baby fat in their face.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have something to do with it too, kind of affecting the way her jawline looks.
Right.
But I don't know. It's intriguing. I definitely am anxious to hear the results if we hear them. I mean,
It's
obviously, if
it's
they're,
it's a very interesting case. The Germans say they've arrested a guy, or they have a guy.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not up to date on all that, but I know there was definitely an arrest,
Yeah,
but I haven't heard
the
of any kind of
The
like
German
formal
police
conviction.
have arrested somebody, or he was already in jail, and they say that they are absolutely sure it was him. But
That's interesting.
they won't say why.
Right.
It's I mean, this case is just, it's another one of those ones where we'll probably never know.
Right.
You know, it's like
Well,
DB Cooper. We'll never know.
yeah, right.
You
It's
know,
so sad though, because God, if it's not her, the poor family for getting their hopes up, and then there's this poor girl who, well, hopefully she gets some answers about her mystery. And
yeah. Mm.
I wonder if they did a DNA test of her against her parents. I feel like that should have been done first. The people claiming to be her parents.
Yeah, let's
Like
fucking exhaust
before,
all avenues before we
right,
go to, she's the McCann girl.
right. But she's an
But
adult now, and I guess that's the difference. Is she's not a minor child. She is an adult woman. So,
I don't know. I mean, I didn't take any time to look back at Madeline. I mean, I know it's further up in the article there, Madeline's picture. Isn't that the
that's an
age
age
one?
progression. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
See,
age
yeah,
progressed.
yeah, her picture is down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I look at those two.
The eyes,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, when I was doing
Mm,
a side by side earlier today, I didn't feel great about it, but it's not a great picture either. So
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later.
I'll
I
say if it's a
mean,
hit, then we'll hear about it.
yeah, we'll find out. But I do know that the German authorities, they're absolutely positive they have the guy that took her.
Well, I hope that's true, and I hope they can get some sort of like conviction and get the info out there to a certain degree.
He was I guess he was like a convicted pedophile or a guy on the run or something, and he was staying at a house just outside of the area, where not even like a mile away from the resort.
Right. Well, and I wonder if this girl really does have a connection to that same guy. That's interesting too.
Yeah.
Like she claims.
Yeah, and I know that there was a witness who saw somebody carrying a child that
Yes.
night. They figured out who that was. That
Right.
was
Somebody
not
came
Madeline.
forward and said, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, that was me.
Yeah. But this is one true crime cases. Some of them get fucking really fucking just creepy / weird.
Yeah.
And this is one of those ones where it's like this little girl gets taken in the middle of the night, and people can fucking shit on the McCanns all they'd like. And maybe people didn't go about doing things quite the right way at one point in time or another. But I remember many a fucking time as a young kid being left alone by my parents.
Yeah.
The McCanns aren't guilty of anything that anyone else isn't fucking guilty of. probably the people who accused them of being guilty of it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think that was that bad of
no,
them leaving him. I
it
never thought that was a
I
persecutable thing.
right, and they kept going back to check on the kids to make sure everything was okay. This was a resort where, you know, this shit didn't happen. You know, I get it. I totally get that. You
Right.
know, and I'm sure they've beaten themselves up more than anyone else could beat them up over that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It's
from experience,
heartbreaking.
when I fuck up, there isn't a person on this fucking planet that can make me feel worse than myself.
Right. Oh, yeah. I
There
agree.
just isn't. Motherfucker, you don't have that power over me. I do.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they've probably beaten themselves up about that night more than they deserve. You know, you lost your kid. You know, it sucks, but you know, shit happens. You made a mistake. Don't beat yourself up over it. You know, could have happened to anybody. Could have happened to my fucking parents.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I got left at home alone, and they weren't just up the street coming back and checking on me.
Right. Well, and you
It
run
was
that risk just in everyday life. I almost got snatched from Walmart as a teenager once. So, like, everybody's so vulnerable, and it's really awful to come down on parents who are just doing their best and living their life and don't suspect that creepy person who's coming trying to snatch your baby, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad thing. And like I see stories about this, you know, when I'm looking for stuff all the time, or when I'm looking through news stories about there was just a fucking kid that wound up escaping abduction.
Yeah.
Because of some people that were there. I just saw. Did you catch the video? I meant to grab this story actually. There's a woman who was working out in a gym.
Yes, and she fought the dude
And
off.
fought the dude off. Holy
Oh my God.
shit.
That was so crazy and scary. She's such a badass bitch. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
Fuck yeah. She fucked him up.
Ugh.
Good for her.
She fucked him up right too. She knew what
Yeah.
she was doing.
Yeah, and then she got away. Good for her.
Ugh.
Good for
That
her.
video
I hope
gave
that
me chills.
I hope they fucking throw the book at him.
Me too.
Like all I could see when I saw that video was my daughters.
Right?
Like
That's
if
scary.
that was my daughters, I'd want to kill a motherfucker.
She, I guess, is like does some like MMA on the side, I think I heard her
Yeah.
say, but she's
You
a
could-
bodybuilder.
You could tell she immediately went into position.
Yes, she
She
knew what she was
immediately
doing.
tried to wrap herself around him and get into position.
He
Like
fucked with the wrong girl. Oh my God.
I would love to see fucking Rogan break that down as like an MMA fight with the video.
Right?
That would be the fucking best. Like
Oh,
do
yeah.
that like your fucking fight companion, Rogan. Throw that bitch up and fucking go over that with fucking Brendan
Right?
and the whole fucking crew.
That was wild. That stuff is terrifying to me. And I've always said if I were to ever get into a physical confrontation, I'm fighting dirty. Like I'm gouging
Oh,
your
yeah.
eyeballs. I'm doing all the dirty, dirty things.
You don't fight fair. Like,
Well, if I'm in a fight,
if you're in a
it's
fight,
already not fair.
you don't square off. Like
You're
that happens in
right.
a ring. Like if somebody comes at me, I am going for the nearest thing that I can grab.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm just gonna try to beat the fuck out of him with it.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it's gonna be.
If I'm
not
fighting a
gonna
girl, I'm ripping your earrings out. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing all the dirty, scrappy things that I can do.
What? I'm not supposed to kick you in the balls?
Yeah,
It
bro.
might
Yeah,
happen.
that's the first obvious thing.
Jesus. Anywho. Well, folks, this has been episode 3 of the Fortean Files. Annabelle doll headed to the casino. Yeah, let's see if she wins big. I say she should come to my house and square off against the fucking dogs.
Well, that would be a show.
Tony Spira, ball's in your court. I'll start that fucking GoFundMe now. I will promote the fuck out of that thing. Let's end the Annabelle curse. I got 2 pit bulls. I'll fucking rip that fucker to shreds. Hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, if you have been watching this on the Fortean Slip YouTube channel, please go over to youtube.com / at the Fortean Files. That's youtube.com / the at symbol TheForteanFiles. Go over to anchor.fm / the Fortean Files. Subscribe to the podcast. Download the podcast. Check it out. Check out old episodes if you haven't. Share it with a friend. Phone a friend. Tell them about us. It's always fun. And I think, I forgot that one. As always, go over to facebook.com / the Fortean Slip. That's where I put everything, the updates. I do not know if I will start a new like page for the podcast. I'm hoping that the Fortean Slip like page comes back into it this year. I'm hoping that the restrictions end in another 4 months. It's been 8 months. I keep checking it. If it comes back, I'd like to continue using that page. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And we will be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to bring you the Fortean Files. Until then, be good to one another, everybody. It's a dark world out there.